Hello there and welcome. In this video I got you 10 different tips and tricks for a good start in Necesse 1.0. We're gonna be talking about a lot of different things that I hope will help you out in having less downed colonists and other things. So let's get started with number 1. Metal is gonna be your primary early game bottleneck. That's gold, copper, and iron. These are the materials that you want to acquire as quick as possible, and take good care what you buy with these. Generally speaking, I gotta say, copper is really good for your starting armor. There's way better things in the sets down the road, but this is a solid thing, and you can use your iron for tools and other goodies, because a lot of the workbenches and way too many good things require iron early on. When you want a solid starter weapon, I recommend the boomerang, which is actually surprisingly good. Or you can pretty much use any of the weapons that tickles your fancy. Just the bow is a little bit difficult to use due to the ammo that you require, but you'll be getting there. So, number 2. There's a lot of different things in the world, structures and such. It's a city there, it's a little bit of a mage tower. Generally speaking, if there's no guard around there, you can just dismantle the whole place and just pick up whatever you want. If there are guards around, you can't just go whack in the city and pick up what you want. The guards will attack you, but they will eventually also forget about you. So if there's something you really want, now you know that you better run afterwards. But beyond that, in cities, containers can be freely looted. Nothing bad will happen. You just gotta be careful that you don't dismantle the city. Okay, number 3. When you are crafting new things, tools are always eventually on the list. When it comes down to the quality, I gotta say the pickaxe should be always the one that you go for first, because that's the one tool which just determines the whole speed of mining. And mining is one of the things that you will be doing by yourself most of the time. Pretty much all of the other tools, even the axes, can be pretty much delayed. Just the pickaxe is really, really important. Why is the axe not so important? Because you can tell your people in your city eventually to just chop down trees for you. So even this can be fairly easily automated. But the pickaxe, and that's the one where I would recommend, if you just have a low amount of a new tier of ore, that should be the one thing you'll be going for first, then the weapons, then the armor. Okay, number 4, containers for your inventory. So some of them you need to acquire via questing, here for example a lunchbox or the ammo pouch, and some of them are simply buyable, like the potion pouch. These are all excellent things that you should pick up whenever you can. It's worth rushing those quests for these. It's worth buying them wherever you find them, because everything that allows you to compactify items in your inventory is just priceless. Therefore, go for these. They are really one way of keeping your inventory under control, and this is something that you will need in this game eventually, because there's just so much stuff. Number 5. Buff potions for bosses mainly. This is one of the things. You know, there's several different buff potions that you will eventually find. Currently, I have used most of them. I'm talking about attack bonuses, resistance bonuses, you name it. Either you sell it to the pawnbroker of your trust. That's also a very, very good way of dealing with it. Or you just store them in your home and pick them up whenever you want to go for a boss fight. The buffs of these potions are usually not necessary to just explore the underground areas of the world and such, but they really give you quite the edge when it comes down to the boss fights. I recommend, therefore, hoard a couple of these, but don't overdo it. Eventually they can be also quite nicely sold. After all, potions are to be found quite a lot in the dungeons below, and you know, crafting these by yourself is not that terribly hard. You just need a good collection of herbs and most of the things, and fishing, by the way, and most of the things are quite easily reproducible. Anyways, partying up in summons. So when you want to go for adventures, if you want to party, as you see here, this guy is downed. Make sure that you have revival potions at your availability, recall potions, food and health potions. While people in your party can really be powerful, as you can equip them your own stuff. They are also not going to stand up before you give them a potion. That's pretty cool, because before 1.0 they were actually dead if they got killed, so that's one thing. Partying up is really good for boss fights yet again. In the exploration mode, it can be in some higher level areas be necessary. Low level early game, you won't be needing that this much. There's also gear that allows you to summon things. The brain on a stick is one of the first that you can buy from the exotic goods trader. Sadly don't have one here, but all of these things, party members and creatures that you summon via gear, are really valuable and important, because it's just very powerful to have some bodies that you can throw at the problem that aren't you. So all in all, feel free to utilize that as much as possible. I even go as far as to say that the extra people around you is one of the best strategies to stay safe and make the game a lot easier in general, because the more targets around, the easier it is to stay alive yourself. Number 7, exploration and trinkets. So trinkets, as you can see here, you have 4 slots for these, and they are among the best upgrade items that you can get. What's really important to note and to know is that each biome has its own collection of goodies that you can find there. Some of these can be found on the surface by finding these little caches here that have a chest in the middle, but most of them are found underground. Trinkets can pretty much all of them be further enhanced and transformed into something better. So in short, you basically want to collect most of them, if not all of them. But if you are in a certain biome and you find a trinket which you feel like, I don't need that specifically right now, pick it up, put it into your collection, because maybe you want that item that you can't craft out of this trinket quite desperately. Therefore, trinkets are always a piece of good loot and should be stored at home. Number 8, simple automation saves so much time. So you can do really cool things by just hiring one person into your settlement, giving them a room, giving them a bed, a little bit of light and a little bit of a chair, a little bit of farmland, and a couple of bushes is all you need. After that, you just need to make sure that you give free a storage box by checkmarking this thing here. It's a green button before you do it. And then you can tell your people that are living in your colony to automatically do stuff. If you have played RimWorld, you will be very much familiar with that. So give you a quick example, here my forge is configured to smelt just all of the ores and things automatically. Somebody will just scuttle over there and do it after I have just dumped all these smeltable items in one random chest that is configured to be attached to the city. You can, of course, configure these a lot more specifically. Here again, if you played RimWorld, you will exactly know what to do with these. If not, it is not that hard. You just need to allow or disallow what you want to have in here. I'll be doing a little bit more of a detailed tutorial about that in the future. Anyways, the gist of it here is all of these processing jobs, especially smelting, everything that you find tedious, let somebody else do it, because you are playing a game here and you got better things to spend your time on, right? So, which brings me to number 9, Biome Order, or, well, in which order should you play those biomes? So, one thing that's quite interesting, the quest line will guide you chronologically correct through the different biomes. You start in the forests, then you go to the ice, then if I remember correctly, the next is the desert, then the swamp. But if you don't want to be that linear and do it on your own, it is actually quite possible, and sometimes even making things easier when you have already the materials from 1 or 2 biomes ahead when fighting that specific boss fight. If you are one of the people like me who don't enjoy the battle system at times in boss fights too much, this is a pretty easy way of making things easier without cheating or anything, because you can just go to the next biome, collect a bit of the minerals there, smelt them down, and go to the anvil of your trust. And as you see there, we can do a lot of things there. But I gotta say, not everything will be doable because sometimes you have to upgrade workstations and such. So this chronological playthrough of the bosses on the Village Elder is something I very, very much recommend, even if you don't technically have to. I don't know how much this has been sharpened with 1.0. Let me know in the comment section and fill my blanks if I am mistaken here. And lastly, number 10, hoarding and stashing. So one thing I discovered while playing Necesse, all of the items that can be mass-produced, speaking about lumber and farming goods and leather and wool, all those things, are pretty much safe to be hoarded and will be finding a use one way or another. Either you'll be building a lot of buildings because you want to make your city fancy, or you'll be selling it away to the pawnbroker because you want to buy something else, or you just need a ton of wheat and leather and wool to just recruit people. In short, all of these things that are lying around here are pretty much worth picking up, and if you discovered that you didn't need them, just sell them away. In that regard, I really recommend to do something like a warehouse in this game, where you sort and arrange your goods. Chests like I have them here are actually not going to hold up the longer in the longer time frame of the game. When you have everything just allowed on everything, your whole inventory will be a mess. With priorities and allowing certain items and forbidding certain items, you can even teach your people to sort things somewhere else. And due to the massive amount of clutter in this game, strongly recommend doing the sorting and the hoarding at the same time, because seriously, we need these. Alright, I hope that this will give you a good start into the game. Much more to be said, and feel free to leave me in the comment section your questions or your add-ons to this video. I'm all ears. After all, leave a like, leave a subscribe, consider donating via Ko-fi or any other given means. I'd be delighted to have your support, and many thanks go out to all of you supporting the channel. I really, really mean it. Also, I want to say thanks for watching this video up until the very end. Appreciate you taking that time, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.